Hi everyone, this is Mary and welcome to Super Skills, Letter W edition. Let's get started with our hello song. Hello friends, hello friends, hello friends, it's time to say hello. Well, hello all my friends. Let's start talking about letter W. We're almost at the end of the alphabet here. Letter W, uppercase and lowercase, look the same, don't they? Except that the lowercase w is smaller. So how are we going to make that W? We're going to start at the top, make a slanty line down, then make another slanty line all the way back up, another slanty line all the way back down, and another slanty line all the way back up. Down, up, down, up. So that's our uppercase W. Our lowercase w, we start not quite as high. We start about halfway up. And we go slanty line down, slanty line up, slanty line down, slanty line up. Again, it's going down, up, with slanty lines, and that's our lowercase w. And how does W sound? It has a w sound. And some words that start with W and have that sound. You know what that is? Slice of watermelon. And here's a, what's this? A wagon. Something you look out of. A window. And a big sea creature. A whale. Those are all W words. Whale, window, wagon, watermelon. And what's our word of the day going to be? Well, it's not going to be any of these words. It's going to be, what's that? Little and pink and wiggly? It's a worm. That is the word we're going to think about and talk about today. Well, before we start our book, which is called Noodle and Lou, I have a rhyme for you about worms, okay? We're going to pretend that this hand has 5 wiggly worms on it. And this hand is a box. Okay? Here are some worms that are oh so sad. They lost all the wiggles that they once had. They wonder if you, just for today, could lend them your wiggles so they can play. Wiggle them up and wiggle them down. Wiggle those worms around and around. Wiggle them high, way up high. Wiggle them low. Wiggle them fast, wiggle them really fast. And wiggle them slow. Wiggle them over your shoes and socks. And wiggle them right back into their box. See if you can do that rhyme with your family. Pretend you've all got wiggly worms for one of your hands. Okay. And now let's read our book, Noodle and Lou. And it's written by Liz Garton Scanlon. And the pictures were drawn by Arthur Howard. There's our little pink worm. Looks like he's got a bird for, don't birds eat worms sometimes? You think that bird is his friend or his enemy? Noodle and Lou. Some days don't go well, right from the start. Noodle woke up with a rain-cloudy heart. There's Noodle, he looks kind of sad. His bright side was muddy. His high points sank low. The grass grew much greener in other worms' rows. Oh, there's some other worms who look pretty happy. It says Wiggly Field. And there's Noodle. Some days are like this, What's a worm gonna do? Well, if he is Noodle, he'll lean on his Lou. He says, "Hey, Lou." Oh, and there's Lou. That is his friend. "My head has no eyes," Noodle said, feeling glum. "So, life's a surprise," Lou said to his chum. "And I don't have a beak," said Noodle, quite blue. "But you're long and so sleek, which is perfect for you." Lou is saying things that might make Noodle feel better. "But also, no feet," Noodle said with a shrug. See, he's looking at that bug who has lots of feet. "I think you're complete," and Lou gave him a hug. "I'm dirty and mucky. You're wiggly and plucky. I'm skinny and bare, with your own special flair. Birds think I'm a treat. You are pretty sweet." This went on for a bit, each line like the last, Noodle quite gloomy and Lou just steadfast. Do you know what steadfast means? That means steady and reliable. So every time Noodle said something that he didn't like about himself, Lou continued to say good things about Noodle, things that were nice and that Noodle should enjoy and be proud of about himself. But Lou meant every word. Even Noodle could see all those high-flying types, and Lou Bird likes me. Lou could have lots of friends that were birds, but instead he wants to be best friends with Noodle. And in spite of himself, Noodle had to admit that he and his friend were a very fine fit. There's some bugs, they're watching. Ah, and there's Noodle and Lou together. Now, how does Noodle look now? Looks a lot happier than he did before, doesn't he? So he lifted his chin, crawled out of his rut, gave his sorry old slither a jaunty new strut. He's feeling pretty good about himself now. And Lou, he was tickled. "See, you just never know," he said with a grin, "how a day's gonna go." And this little ladybug says, "What a worm!" And there's Noodle with a big smile on his face. But really, thought Noodle, the bigger surprise is seeing yourself through your best buddy's eyes. Oh, and looks like he's giving Lou a flower for being such a good friend. The end. All right, well now we are going to make our own little pink worm, but unlike Lou, we're going to give our worm a couple of eyes. Okay, let's do that now. Let's get started with our worm. Here's what our worm's going to look like, kind of, when we're done. Yours probably will look a little different because everybody's different. But in your pack, you should have gotten a pink straw, kind of a shiny pink straw, and a pink pipe cleaner, and a couple of little googly eyes. Okay? And they're very teeny, so from home, you are going to need to supply a scissors and maybe a glue stick, depending on how well those googly eyes stick on. So, remember when we hold the scissors, we're going to put our thumb through the top hole, our first 2 fingers through the bottom hole, and our last 2 fingers that we're not going to use will tuck into the palm of our hand. We'll keep our arm close to our body and keep our thumb up when we cut. Okay, and we're going to hold our straw. That's the first thing we're going to do, is cut our straw into sections. We're going to hold that with our thumb and our first 2 fingers too. And we also can tuck those 2 other fingers away for this part, this hand. So we're using our first 3 fingers for each of our hands. Okay, our thumb and our first 2 fingers. And we're going to just estimate how long we'd like our sections to be and then cut them. Now, when I cut these, they might kind of fly, okay? And that's okay. You just gather them up after they fly, okay? Whoop, there goes one. If I were going to measure these, they might be about 1/2 inch, but I don't really need to do that. I'm just going to cut them and gather them up afterwards because they're flying around. I might have a little piece that's extra down here, which I won't use. Okay, now I'm going to gather up my pieces. So you're going to see my arm reach in here. And my eyeball flew away too. I could grab that again. Okay. I've got my pieces here. Now, I'm going to thread these onto my pipe cleaner. So I'm going to take one of my little pieces of straw in my hand. Again, I can just hold them with my thumb and my first 2 fingers, tuck these other 2 fingers away, and I'm going to thread them onto this pipe cleaner. Put this one all the way down. Okay? And I'm going to push this end up so that last little straw section doesn't fall off. Okay? Then I'm going to put some more sections on and push them down. And you don't have to use the whole straw's worth if you don't want to, but you can. Okay? And on a real worm, did you ever notice how they have little sort of sections like this? They look almost like rings on a tree. Those are called segments. Okay? You can hold your straw up closer to the end if you want, or you can hold it back farther. You just don't want to hold it way up close to the end because then it makes it hard to put this piece of straw on. And these are going to be like the segments on a worm. And we'll leave a little bit of space between them so that worm can wiggle around. Okay, so see, I'm leaving a little space. It doesn't really matter how much. Now, that might be all I'm going to put on for now, I think. Let's see how many I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think that's as many as I'll use, but you could use more than that if you want. Now, you know, I've got them bent around the end here so these don't fall off, but I also don't want them to fall off on this end. Plus my worm needs a head. So I'm going to twist the end of the pipe cleaner down and then twist it around and continue to twist it around until I've got something that looks kind of like a head. It's not, worms don't really have big round heads like that, but we can pretend they do. All right, so I'm going to kind of make it so, there we go. I kind of pushed it over so it's kind of centered here. All right, that's my worm's head. I'm going to spread out some of his segments here, his or hers. And I've got my eyes here now. I'm going to see if they're sticky enough when I peel this back off, because these are the kind that stick on. But sometimes they're not sticky enough, and if they're not, I'll just put a little glue with my glue stick on. But let me see. Well, that looks okay for now at least. I'm going to peel that off on this other eye. Okay, peel off those little stickers. Put this one here. Now push them down gently. Now my worm has 2 eyes. He doesn't look so wormy though because he's too straight. I think I'm going to give him some wiggles. Okay. You can make his wiggles however you would like. I'm going to spread out his little segments again. All right, you can make him really wiggly or just a little wiggly. There is my wiggly worm. I hope you enjoyed our letter W worm day and making your own flexible, squirmy worm and hearing our story about Noodle and Lou. Let's sing our goodbye song and then we'll be back next time. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. I had fun with you. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.